hands. So today we're going to talk about a really difficult subject to draw that I'm sure many of you have spent time avoiding by putting somebody's arms behind their back or in their pockets. Hands. Hands are really difficult to draw. And so I'm going to give you a couple of different techniques that you can use to practice and build skills in drawing hands. If you like this material, remember I have lots more videos on my website, LZM Studio, that really delves into how lighting falls on objects, to do shading, 3D forms, how to deal with those. And really your hands are 3D forms that you need to deal with. So if you would like more in-depth information, you can go on over to my website, lzmstudio.com. I also have all of this material available for students in schools. So if you know of a school or a homeschooler or somebody who would like to study art and does not have that capability at their school or in their school district, you can head on over to graphitesquad.com, and that program is just for kids in school. So if you like this information, head on to one of those websites for me, check them out. Tell your friends about it. It would be helpful for me. And then let's talk about how to avoid drawing mittens and actually get to the hands when you're drawing a person. Okay, so this is a practice that I do with my students quite frequently. And the idea is that you want to take a large piece of paper and draw many small hands. You don't want to get too attached to it being a large drawing that you've spent a lot of time on and that's too precious. Instead, you want to find photos of hands, take photos of your friends or your family's hands, and draw from those photographs. You can also look online and find other groups of hands that artists have drawn and just draw those drawings. That's a simplified version and an easier step to do to begin with. So maybe move from the drawings to the photographs. And I want you to think about several things. So we're going to think about using very simplified box shapes so that you can kind of get where, the side of the hand rotates over to the back of the hand. So you want to think about them as 3D shapes. I want you to familiarize yourself with the 3 segments of the fingers so that when they're bent, you can start to see here's a segment, there's a segment. Let's see, we'll get an example where you can see 3 segments. So here's one little tiny segment that's in foreshortening. Here's a second segment, and here's a third segment. Thumbs are going to only have 2 segments and then a section that's connected to the hand, but your other fingers are going to have 3 sections, including 3 knuckles. So I want you to familiarize yourself with those 3 segments. You also want to start to think about nails in foreshortening or in different angles. Whether they're rotating away from the viewer or toward the viewer, or you're seeing them head on. I want you to think about the palm of the hand. So anything that's open here where you're seeing the inside part of the hand, you want to think about the back side of the hand, and then also where the wrist connects. So many of the drawings you're going to see here have a wrist connection, and you want to pay attention to where those are connecting. The last thing that you're going to be able to really practice here is foreshortening. So anytime there's a finger that's sticking out towards you, it's going to look shorter because it's moving towards you in space or moving away from you in space. And sometimes those wind up looking really odd. But the more you practice foreshortening, the more you're going to have some experience with it so that it doesn't paralyze you when you get to a drawing that you really care about. Another way that you can do practice of hands is to draw the sign alphabet. So this is American Sign Language, I believe. There are other sign languages. I'm sure there are different sign languages for different alphabets, not just American Sign Language alphabet. So by practicing each one of the letters, you're learning something about sign language, but you're also learning how to draw hands and to think about the segments. So last, let's do one. I'm going to do one for you all. Let me pull a picture up here. We're going to do segments of the back of the hand. And you can see these are just really quick sketches. I'm kind of looking at planes and where they change. So where the knuckles of the hand go to the fingers, there's kind of a curve and a plane change. And then I can segment out where I'm seeing the fingers change segments. And on some of them, I will not see the segment at all. Here I need to make my hand a little bit wider for this last finger. And then once I get everything darkened in, or once I get everything in the right place, that's when I'm going to darken things in. You might see just a snippet of the nail there. And then I'm going to take out some guidelines. So I was using this as sort of like, where do the fingers connect to the palm of the hand, and then I can erase that. So then I can think about the tendons. And there we have a very rough sketch of a hand. You can see I also do this with feet. We'll talk about that in another video. And you can also start drawing hands holding objects so that you get more practice. So I hope this practice will enable you to feel a lot more comfortable with a subject that we often just avoid drawing. And remember, if you'd like more information, you can go to my website, lzmstudio.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.